being the quarterback, being the team captain, it's hard to be vulnerable and share doubts and fears with your teammates. You always got to be that guy that's always on, that's always going to lead you, in the battle. And being the quarterback, you tend to shoulder a lot of the blame. You get all the praise, you get all the blame. Those days, it was mostly blame.
We've all made mistakes in life. After all, we're human. Some mistakes can be large, some mistakes can be small. What are some examples of mistakes you feel like you guys have made, and how you forgave yourself through those mistakes?
Well, for me, it was early on, Bowling Green, early days, and we went 0-5. Those were some dark days.
Dark.
And being the quarterback, you tend to shoulder a lot of the blame. You get all the praise, you get all the blame. Those days, it was mostly blame. I obviously wasn't playing well, so I took a lot of that internally, I think, and I didn't release it, and it kind of put me not in a great headspace. And Dr. Michael Brown was the one.
Who's Dr. Michael Brown?
Dr. Michael Brown was our sports performance coach at Bowling Green, and he really helped me through those dark times and allowed me to forgive myself, where I can have that next play mentality, not hold on to the mistakes I made on the field, and learn to grow from them and have a positive outlook.
How did he help you do that?
Honestly, just talking freely to him. Being the quarterback, being the team captain, it's hard to be vulnerable and share doubts and fears with your teammates. You always got to be that guy that's always on, that's always going to lead you, in the battle. Mm-hmm. And me and him would kind of have just like one-on-one conversations about what was actually going on, and just having that that vulnerable dialogue was so massive for me.
Would you talk to your other teammates about these sorts of conversations as well, or was that just a relationship with you and Dr. Brown?
Well, yeah, it started off just me and him. Ultimately, he became an integral part of our team, and pretty much the entire team started meeting with him going forward, and I think that's important to have that in any team.
So what are some of the things he talked to you about? I mean, I know he just talked to you, just giving you freedom to, again, we talked about you're human, you make mistakes, it's okay, this doesn't define you. Okay, so you threw an incompletion, you threw an interception, you lost a game, that doesn't define who you are as a person. That kind of stuff?
That type of stuff, like, You're Matthew McDonald, the person. You're not Matthew McDonald, the football player. It's hard. You tie your identity to that, but that's not the case. We would even do some exercises after our 0-5 season. We held a fake funeral for that season, and we grieved the season and were able to move past it move forward and kind of put it in the rearview mirror.
Love that too.
That's so like DMB.
Yeah.
Love it. Andrew?
Well, to me, probably the biggest mistake I made actually happened off the field. When I was 21, I got a DUI, and I felt like I let my family down. I definitely did. More importantly, I let myself down, and I had two options. I could kind of sit there and sulk, or I can work through it, and I can move on. I can learn from those mistakes, and I think the key is, especially with that one, don't make the same mistake twice, and learn and grow from it, right? We're all human. We all make mistakes.
Right.
I know we talked a lot about sports and football, but there's life outside sports, and we all sometimes don't make the right decisions. And I think, to your point, being vulnerable and being open about it, what helped me is I didn't shy away from it. I told all my friends, and I think that helped me process it and, again, learn from it.
I had the same situation, but mine was publicized in the newspapers.
Very public.
USC was very newsworthy at the time, and here I was, a freshman walk-on nobody, and here I find myself in the newspaper for the wrong reasons.
This is when they had son of Paul McDonald front and center, I seem to recall.
Front and center, and it was very TMZ-ish to make this a public thing. And, to Andrew's point, the best thing you do is address it, address the poor decision that you made, but show up the next day with a positive outlook of how I'm going to move through this. Show up to training the next day. That this happened to me during the summertime in between seasons, and I remember coming back and some of the guys being like, "Ooh, I didn't know you were coming back on the team." It's like, well, what do you mean? It's like, we got practice, So you continue to move through those tough situations.
So Pete Carroll, really, you had a conversation with him about it, I'm assuming.
Yeah, he addressed it, but we didn't really. He actually addressed it to the whole team because there were a couple guys. It wasn't just me. I was the only one that caught the papers.
Okay.
And there's two other guys that got in trouble too during that time period. And he kind of said, fortunately, Mike was all of the papers for the wrong reasons. And it's something that we all got to learn from this one mistake and know that people are out there watching. Mm-hmm. Everyone's watching you. What brand do you want to put out of yourself? And, it was for sure a wake-up call for me that, tough things happen. You make mistakes, there's consequences. You got to own up to the consequences, which I did, we did, we all do. And then how are you going to react moving through it?
And then you consequently, not because of this incident, but you left the team.
Right.
And then you and I had a conversation, and because they needed you for spring practice because they had guys hurt, they had guys gone, they needed arms, and we talked, and I suggested to you, it would really be a good idea if you went back because they did treat you very well during that situation, and you did go back.
Right, and I had so much gratitude for being a part of that team, getting to the campus of USC by being a part of that team and having the support of that staff and that program during a tough time.
Right.
That it was an easy decision not doing it to repay the favor, but this is my way to give back and contribute and help a squad and help a team that did mean a lot to me.
So you both made those are kind of big mistakes that you had to move through, and moving through to the other side of those mistakes, was that challenging? Did you just exhale? It's hard. It's kind of a gut punch, hey, wow, this is not good.
Right.
Not good. But the sun comes up the next day, doesn't it?
Right. Time has an interesting way of cleansing, so to speak, right?
It does, yeah.
As long as you address what's needed, there are consequences to actions, as I said, and you got to address it.
So you forgave yourself. You forgave yourselves. You forgave yourself in football, and because of that, that freed you up to move on with life.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't define us.
Right.
It was a poor decision. That was not who we were. It's not who we are. It was something an experience that helped shape us to the person that we are today.
Well, I think that goes back to no accidents, only miracles. Like that happened. Things like that happen to us. We make poor decisions, but if we have this belief mechanism that good can come from this.
Yeah, as you say, there's a lot of Paulisms that we hear, but things don't happen to you, they happen for you.
Right.
It's an opportunity to grow.
Right.
Right.
That's all it was.
Yeah.
You can shy away from it, you can be embarrassed about it, or you can own up to it.
Right.
And move through it in a positive way.
Well, another interesting topic is this thing of self-talk. Like, what do we tell ourselves all day long, which is so hugely important. Like during that time when you guys were having that losing streak, you was probably like, gosh, am I good enough to do this? Maybe I'm not good enough for this. And that's negative self-talk. So what if we're not feeling good, because we can't manage every thought we have throughout the day, but if we're not feeling good, we should know that something negative is going in here. So we need to adjust. Okay, what are we telling ourselves? Put the good in. I am a good person. I deserve all the good in life that I can get. Life is abundant. And think about the things they have gratitude for, things of those nature. That is so important to manage our thoughts, because what goes in here will come out here, and that can manifest itself in social media, and that's what we're seeing in society, right? People have negative thoughts in here, all of a sudden it goes through anonymity to social media, they put negativity in the world, and that's what everything is all about today, negativity.
And I think it's really easy to do that when things are going well. When you make a poor decision or make a big mistake, it's really challenging to do that. So if you're able to navigate those poor decisions, I think you're setting yourself up down the road to make it a habit, make it consistent, and then those mistakes start becoming less and less and less.
If we're here to learn and grow and become the best human being we possibly can be, it's through the challenges that we sharpen that character. We grow into that person. We chisel the person that we're destined to become.
You don't grow when everything's
you don't.
sunshine and rainbows.
No. In fact, you could go the other way.
Yeah.
You become a bad person. You can become
It could be a downward spiral.
It could be a downward
very
spiral.
easily.
Yeah. So, I think if we embrace those moments as opportunities to grow, we'll define who we can become in a much better, more profound way. Well, what about others doing harm to you? Like, you've had some coaches that have done some things to you in your past that, in fact, I was on the phone with Michael in one situation after a game that was horrific, that you got pulled, take the team down on 2 touchdown drives, I think you threw 2 touchdown passes. You're playing Texas El Paso, and then you get yanked and they pull this other guy in, they pull you in at the 4th quarter to try and win the game because then you were behind. Michael's on the phone with me. Go talk to the coach. And I'm like, okay. He has a way about him, right?
Yeah.
So I go in there and I see him on the step to his office after the game, the offensive coordinator. Really nice guy. And he said, hey, got some things happen today. Maybe we can have a conversation this week about it. By the way, I've never talked to any one of your coaches in my entire life about an incident.
This was a unique situation.
First situation ever, first and only time ever in all your years of football. It's the only time I've ever done it. And so he said, come on back to my office. So we had a really great conversation, and I told him, come on, what's really going on? And he's, well, blah, 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 blah. He had a bunch of excuses, this, that, and the other thing. And then I didn't even know about this. But tell us what happened afterwards.
Yeah, so my senior year, I finally got the starting job.
Yeah.
And I played well the first 2 weeks, but UTEP is our crosstown rival.
Right.
Early in the week, they said, hey, we're going to try and get the freshman quarterback some reps. And our head coach is trying to get young players playing time and get them ready for the next year. It was kind of a throw-out year, which was unfortunate for me and all the other seniors. I'm a redshirt senior. So in his eyes, I only got this guy for 1 year, right? So I get that, right? He told me, hey, if you play well, we're going to leave you in there. And I took that as a challenge. And I'm like, okay, that's fine.
Like you would do.
And first play of the game, I threw a 90-yard touchdown pass, very first play.
Yeah.
Second series, march down the field, hit a bunch of key passes, throw another touchdown pass that gets called back because of an illegal procedure by our tight end. Didn't blink an eye, convert on that 3rd down, lead him down to another touchdown. So threw 2 touchdowns in 2 series. 3rd series, we go 3 and out because of a busted route. I get yanked from the game, and I did not see the field till fourth quarter.
Fourth quarter.
When we're down.
We're down by...
my offensive coordinator said, hey, go win the game.
Right.
And, I pressed, right?
Of course you did.
And I forced the ball and I threw a pick.
Yeah, right.
And the next week, I got benched again. The other kid played.
But what did the coach make you do? Because I talked to the coach.
He made me do, I think, 1,000 yards of up downs. And he said, your dad came in and talked to me after the game. I'm like,
because of Michael, I did.
I'm like, talk to him. Like, why am I doing up downs for him? Like,
I couldn't make me do them.
I didn't ask him to go in there, and he kind of just walked off. But again, can't control them. Another thing I learned is control what you can control.
Yeah.
And a valuable lesson that, Michael called me after the game too. He's like, I don't care. Throw a 5-yard hitch and move on. You can't do that. You can't force the ball. You can't press. So I took that through the latter part of the year. I started 10 out of the 12 games, and I had a really good stretch at the last 5 games where I was averaging over 300 yards a game and 3 touchdowns. So the funniest part about the whole thing was my offense coordinator during our exit meetings. He's like, we shouldn't have really messed with you because you played really well. And I said,
no.
Yeah.
I talked to him after the season. He said the same thing.
But here's the thing. All those hardships and challenges that I went through shaped me, who I am today,
Right.
and helped me in experiences after football, after sports. They helped me, in different situations outside of football, and helped me address things that I had to go through. And it all happened how it was supposed to happen.
Well, that's the great thing about sports, and that's why we love sports. That's why we want all these kids to play sports, because you learn stuff in sports that you don't get necessarily in life, especially early on, right? You learn these lessons. The lessons you all have learned playing, and I have learned, are just super profound in life.
Well, and I think what's so interesting and so cool about what you're doing with GameChange is you're trying to, because coaches don't have all the answers. Right? Coaches make mistakes all the time. I think we put them on this pedestal that like they have, and they are in charge, right?
Coaches could have used GameChange during that situation.
I mean, they're not the most emotionally aware individuals on the face of the earth, but if the kids have the tools to create their own journey and create their own self-confidence, their own inner belief, it can help them navigate those tough situations. Whether it's a bad coach, it's a tough parent, maybe that's putting subconscious pressure on them. It's tools that they have to move through these experiences to really grasp the value of these sports, their sports journey, because we know that this sports journey ends at some point. And are you aware of the intangibles that you're acquiring during that process that you can take on for the rest of your life?
Which is what it's all about.
Yeah.
I don't know, 5 or 6% of the kids in high school are going to play in college, including junior college.
Yeah.
And so that leaves 94%. So, I mean, the reality is, that's what it's all about. So keep the kids playing sports, enjoy it for what it is, the lessons they're going to be learning. I would say relative to this whole forgiveness thing is have compassion for others, have compassion for the people.
And yourself.
Yes. Compassion for others, because I like to say when someone's like, you feel like somebody is pressing up against you with something, I always love the quote, and you guys are going to remember this quote. The quote is, every obnoxious act is a cry for help. Right? It's not about you, it's about them. They have an issue, and they're like coming unhinged. So have compassion for others. And take it easy on yourself. Take it easy on yourself. Be kind to yourself, and that will serve you well the rest of your life. It will be a gift when you forgive yourself. It will be a gift when you forgive others, because that will release a lot of emotional harm that could be within you that can manifest in a lot of negative ways.
Absolutely.